मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बुजौ श्रीराधा मदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पाद्रुमाद्यः श्रीमद्रत्नाघारसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधाशीलगोविन्द देवो प्रेष्ठालिपि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रसरसारं दीवं शिवटतटस्थित कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथाय श्रियस्तु नः तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी हरे कृष्णा डिवोटीज
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे यस्यां वै श्रूयमाणायां कृष्ण परमपुरुषे भक्ति उत्पद्यते पुंसां शोकमोह भय. Now today third canto 13th verse we are going to start 13th chapter. The appearance of Lord Varaha. Just now we celebrated last week appearance of Lord Varaha. Shri Shuka Uvacha Nishamya Vacham Vadato Ne Punyatamam Nrupah भूयः पप्रच्छ कौरव्यो वासुदेव तथार्गः कृतः. So Vidur Samvad, Vidur Maitreya Samvad is going on. Many topics Maitreya Rishi explained to Vidura. Again Vidura is further inquiring about the Supreme Personality of God. He wants to know more about Vasudeva. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam Vasatiti Sarvatraha Vasudeva Sarvamiti Vasatihi Vasudeva. So that is how the Lord who is Vishuddha Sattvam, he wants to know more about Krishna. He wants to know more about that person who is pervading everywhere. That person who is residing in everyone's heart. That is why you see Vasudeva Katha. Krishna Katha also could have been written. Why Vasudeva Katha? Because now Lord is going to appear in different incarnations. That is how Lord is pervading everywhere. And where whatever requirement is there, Lord appears in that form. So in this way, papracha, this word is also very important. Papracha. This papracha word is there in Ramayana also. When Valmiki is inquiring to Narada, that time also papracha. Papracha refers to the questions related to Lord. That is why papracha. It is not just pracha. It is papracha. Anything related to Lord is known as papracha. That has some sense. That has real sense. Not some sense. That has real sense. And that is how, even after discussing so many topics, still Vidura wants to know more about Vasudeva. Sukadeva Goswami is explaining this to Parikshit Maharaj. Viduruvacha Savai Swayam Bhuva Samrat Priyaputra Swayam Bhuvaha Pratilabhya Priyam Patnim Kim Chakara Tato Mune. Vidura is asking, Swayambhu Manu is the dear son of Brahma. Last time we saw how Brahma expands into two forms, male and female. And that is how Swayambhu and Sutapa, they appear. And that is how the whole progeny again starts because he wants to expand now. So Swayambhu is very dear son. Though Kumaras were cursed by Brahma, so they were not helping him in the progeny, expansion of the progeny. But Swayambhu, yes, is very dear son because thousands children, so many children were produced by Swayambhu. So what did Swayambhu Manu do after obtaining his very loving wife? The wife name? Last time what we saw, what is the name of the wife?
Chattarupa.
Chattarupa. Chattarupa. Charitam tasya rajarshe आदिराजस्य सत्तमा ब्रूहि मे शतदानाय विश्वक्षेण श्रेयोः That's how. So, oh, best of the virtues, the original king of the kings, Manu was a great devotee. Now, oh, best of the virtues, this is spoken to whom? This is spoken to Maitri Rishi, because Vidura Vachana, Vidura is addressing, oh great sage, oh best of the virtues, like that. So Sattama, Rajarshe, Sattama means oh pious one. I want to know about this great devotee who is Raja Rishi. He is the original king. I want to know about him. He was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and thus it is worth hearing of his sublime character and activities. Please describe them. I am very eager to hear. Shraddhadhanaya is the most important quality in hearing. The more we have Shraddha, the more the knowledge is imbibed. So, O pious one, O Sattama, Bruhi, kindly speak to me. Shraddhadhanaya, I am very eager to hear about, about that king who is Vishwakshena Ashraya, who has taken the shelter of Vishwakshena. Now, Vishwakshena, why again Lord is addressed as Vishwakshena? Because the Lord bridges the gap between the matter and the spirit in the form of Vishwakshena, the elephant form of Krishna. The elephant's back bridges the gap. That is how this Raja Rishi has been given the responsibility of the expansion of this material world. How is he bridging the gap between the matter and the spirit? How is he spiritualizing everything? See, every question and every word is very, very meaningful. Not that anything has been put. When Vasudev has been told what it implies. Because as a Bhakti Vaibhav student, we should know when every name of Krishna, even in the Bhakti Shastri also we saw, every name of Krishna emphasizes the meaning of that verse. Because it's not just knowing the character and the activities. How is he spiritualizing everything? That is how why Vishwakshena is used. How is he spiritualizing? How is he bridging the gap? Because he has been given this great responsibility of expanding the progeny. And Vishwakshena, the elephant form of Krishna, has a tabletop. Elephant has a tabletop. So that is how it is like a bridge. Vishwakshena Kathasuya. Even in the Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter it comes. Dharmasvanishtita pumsam Vishwakshena Kathasuya. Na utpadite dhiratim shama eva hi kevalam. If you don't have the eagerness to hear about Lord, and if you don't have eagerness, again, why Vishwakshena Kathasuya? Now, why not Krishna, or some Vasudeva, or some other name of Krishna has been put? So, how to dharma? Dharma means what? Our duties. How to spiritualize our duties? How worship is the only work. And for doing that worship, we do other work. The house is meant to worship. For doing the worship, to maintain the house, you go to work. So dharma swanishtita pumsam vishwakshena kathas. There also see vishwakshena kathas. That is our real dharma. To spiritualize whatever the body itself is the first thing. What facilities we have got, house and all is later. The first facility what we have got is this human body. How to spiritualize this human body? How to spiritualize the human consciousness? And that is how here also very clearly it has been said how Manu, the great devotee, I want to know about him because he has taken shelter of Vishwakshena. Sutasya punsam sucherashramasya nanvanjasa suribhir iditottah tattad gunanu shravanam mukunda padarvindam hridayeshu yesham. Okay. Shutasya Pumsam Shuchira Shramasya. He has been taken, he is taking very hard, he is working very hard to hear, laboring very hard in the process of hearing for a long time. He has been doing that. Now, Suribhi, he should also hear from the pure devotees also. So now, is the spiritual master now here? Persons who are in the process of hearing. So the persons who are hearing from a spiritual master with great labor and for a long time, from here from the mouth of pure devotees. So is not the pure spiritual master pure devotee? The question arises, isn't it? When we say when you are surrendered to the spiritual master, is he not a pure devotee? And we have to hanker for another pure devotee to hear. So here it is said, the more we hear from the mouth of pure devotees, the more we can assimilate the knowledge given by our spiritual master. So when the spiritual master teaches us, we are imbibing the formulas, okay? We are imbibing the teachings. But when we hear from other pure devotees also, the more we hear, it is not doubt on the spiritual master's teachings. The more we hear, it becomes the confidence in the teachings increases more and more. Yes, my spiritual master also taught me like this. Like when we before we go to school, we hear from our mother. We learn from our mother. And then when we go to school, we hear from the teacher. Oh, my mother also taught me like this. So that confidence in our mother increases. And the learning becomes, everybody has their own style. The pure devotees, they have their own style. Everybody speaks what they have realized. So realization varies person to person. The teachings are the same, but through the realizations, we assimilate the knowledge and we can understand the assimilated knowledge very nicely. Simple. We have assimilated the knowledge through the realizations, through the examples like Prachini Barishat. He was taught by giving an example of Puranjana, Puranjani. So the examples make us understand more better. So in this way, it is said, Anu Shravanam, Mukunda. The Lord Mukunda, whose Mukharvind is like Kunda flower, and he is the only one who can liberate us. And that liberation for a devotee is taking shelter of Padarvindam. And how thinking about that person, thinking about the lotus feet within the heart. Because the pure devotees do that. What they do, they always think about the Lord. And that is how they can give what they have. They have that love for the lotus feet of Krishna. And that is how they can award us liberation. That liberation is understanding our real position. That is liberation. So a person is going to school. When he hears more from the pure devotees, the assimilated knowledge is attains perfection. Okay. So till here, Vrindavan Mataji, read all the 4 verses. Then we'll start with Sri Shukavacha.
Yes.
Suddenly Shukavacha. I don't know how you are really writing exams. My work is teaching, but really, real test is when you study. Acha, how many exams are over, by the way?
Only one in third canto, Mataji, and oral is still pending
Till which chapter it is over?
till fourth, I think, or third chapter. I think.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, na? And talk to caller. Just now caller also. 4, 5, 6. Next test. Then 7,
Mataji,
8, 9.
oral is still pending for the first
Okay, that
section.
both can be taken together. Just do 4, 5, 6, maybe next week. Now there is no this also, no festival also. 4, 5, 6 easily can be done. After Gaur Purnima, 7, 8, 9. Put that schedule. Put the schedule. 4, 5, 6, 15th and 16th, finish it off.
Mataji, I have commitment this weekend.
This weekend, na? Next weekend.
Ah,
15th
then
and
it's
16th.
okay.
4, 5, 6, finish it off. Write the schedule in the group. And then afterwards, after the Gaur Purnima, 7th, 8th, 9th. Then in the end of the March, or maybe in the first week of April, 10th, 11th, 12th. So that much will be covered. And then how many chapters we are in this? How many total?
Now we are in 15. It's a
Just
long
think.
canto.
How many total chapters are there? 13th we are going on, na?
Hmm.
So by we can complete 13, 14,
There are
all four,
33.
all four together, May 1st. May 1st week. So this will end your third canto. Then June we can start with fourth canto. Peacefully.
So by
Because
No,
then we'll be
Mataji,
able to
second part.
complete, Mataji.
Mataji, second part, na? Third canto, 33 like
what we
chapters
can
are
do
there.
Because there are 33 chapters in this, Mataji. It's a
Second
long
book,
one.
Mataji.
what 33? It is only the
33
14th.
chapters in third
This
canto.
is part 1, Mataji. First, third canto, part 1.
Yeah, barabar. Yeah, we are in the first
Now,
part.
Kapil Dev Samvat पूरा बाकी है माताजी.
Yes. I only saw the
Hmm. This canto
so
is huge.
it will take, I think, maybe next year. Doesn't matter. We have to understand the subject. We are not in the hurry of finishing the subject. Isn't it? Okay. Now
Yes,
read
Mataji.
the
Yes,
full.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Shri Shuka Uvacha निशम्य वाचं वदतो मुनेः पुण्यात्मा नृप भूयः पपृच्छ कौरव्यो वासुदेवा कथादतः. Translation. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, after hearing all these most virtuous topics from the sage Maitreya, Vidura inquired further on the topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which he adored to hear. The word adritah is significant because it indicates that Vidur had a natural inclination for hearing the transcendental message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he was never fully satisfied, though continuing to hear those topics. He wanted to hear more and more so that he could be more and more blessed by the transcendental message. Vidur uvacha sa vai swayambhuvah samrat priyah putrah swayambhuvah pratilabhya priyam patnim kim chakara tato mune. Vidur said, O great sage, what did Swayambhuva, the dear son of Brahma, do after obtaining his very loving wife? चरितं तस्य राजऋषेर् आदिराजस्य सत्तमा ब्रूहि मे श्रद्धानाय विश्वक्सेनाश्रयो हि असौ. O best of the virtuous, the original king of kings, Manu, was a great devotee of the personality of Godhead Hari, and thus it is worth hearing of his sublime character and activities. Please describe them. I am very eager to hear. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of the transcendental topics of the personality of Godhead and his pure devotees. In the absolute world, there is no difference in quality between the Supreme Lord and his pure devotee. Therefore, hearing the topics of the Lord and hearing of the character and activities of the pure devotee have the same result, namely the development of devotional service. Text 4. Shrutasya pumsam suchirashramasya नान्वञ्जसा सुरभिर्ईदितोऽर्थः तत्तद्गुणाश्रवणं मुकुन्द पादारविन्दं हृदयेषु येषाम्. Persons who hear from a spiritual master with great labor, and for a long time must hear from the mouths of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. From the mouths of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. Pure devotees Pure devotees always think within their hearts of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, who awards his devotees liberation. Transcendental students are those who undergo great penance in being trained by hearing the Vedas from a bona fide spiritual master. Not only must they hear about the activities of the Lord, but they must also hear about the transcendental qualities of the devotees who are constantly thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord within their hearts. A pure devotee of the Lord cannot be separated from the lotus feet of the Lord for even a moment. Undoubtedly, the Lord is always within the hearts of all living creatures, but they hardly know about it because they are deluded by the illusory material energy. The devotees, however, realize the presence of the Lord, and therefore they can always see the lotus feet of the Lord within their hearts. Such pure devotees of the Lord are as glorious as the Lord. They are in fact recommended by the Lord as more worshipable than He Himself. Worship of the devotee is more potent than worship of the Lord. It is therefore the duty of the transcendental students to hear of pure devotees, as explained by similar devotees of the Lord, because one cannot explain about the Lord or his devotee unless one happens to be a pure devotee himself. Hare Krishna.
So pure devotees, what they are glorifying? The activities of pure devotees. Now, what are the activities of pure devotees? Worshipping Lord. Simple. So indirectly, what is happening? Glories of Krishna is only discussed. Shri Shukavacha iti Bhruvanam Viduram Vinitam Sahasra Shirshnya Sahasra Shirshnascharanopadhanam Praharushta Roma Bhagavat Kathayam Praniyamano Nirabhya Chashta. Sukadeva Goswami says, speaking like this, Bhruvanam unto Vidura. Vidura, how is his nature? Is very gentle. He is very gentle. That is why Lord Krishna placed his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura. Upadhanam. Upadhanam. It was like a pillow for him. So Vidura's Prahurshta Romaha Bhagavat. So hearing this also, it's so wonderful that the hair stand in ecstasy when that Bhagavat Kathayam. Just by hearing about Lord, the hair stand in ecstasy. Praniyamas Manaha. In this way, the great sage is so influenced. Why is he influenced? By the spirit of Vidura. How many questions is asking? And that too related to Lord. So much of eagerness. That is why he is attempting to speak. The sage Maitreya is so impressed by Vidura. Vidura's nature is very gentle. Actually, gentle nature attracts Krishna. Krishna loves to keep his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because it's very meek, very gentle. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. That has been told by Yudhishthir Maharaj to Vidura that you are temple. You yourself are a tirtha. Why should you go for any tirtha? Lord himself is residing in your body. Your body itself is a tirtha. So that is how here, very nicely it has been told. Even Maitra Rishi is so impressed by Vidura's eagerness to hear about Krishna. And that is how he is speaking. So read this, Aruna.
Hare Krishna. Text 5. Sri Shuka Uvacha Iti Bhruvanam Viduram Vinitam Mahastra-shirshnas-charanopadhanam Prahrishta-roma Bhagavat-kathayam Praniyamano Munirabhyachashta. Translation. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because Vidura was very meek and gentle. The sage Maitreya was very pleased with Vidura's words, and being influenced by his spirit, he attempted to speak. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Sahasra is very significant. One who has diverse energies and activities and a wonderful brain is known as the Sahasra Shirshna. This qualification is applicable only to the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and no one else. The personality of Godhead was pleased to dine sometimes with Vidura at his home, and while resting, he placed his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura. Maitreya was inspired by the thought of Vidura's wonderful fortune. The hairs of his body stood on end, and he was pleased to narrate the topics of the personality of Godhead with great delight. Hare Krishna.
मैत्री उवाच यदा स्वभार्यया
Yaya Sardham.
beautiful अरुण
Mm.
यदा स्वभार्यया सार्धम् जातस्वयंभुवो मनुः प्राञ्जलि प्रणतश्चेदं वेदगर्भम् अभाषत. So what did they do? That was the question, no? After what did Swayambhu Manu do? What was the question asked? What did he do after obtaining his loving wife? So what did they do? They paid obeisances to Veda Garbham. Who is at Veda Garbham? The reservoir of Vedic wisdom. That is their father. That is Brahmaji. They paid obeisances. And how? Pranjali, with folded hands. This Anjali Mudra is very important. Whenever we meet someone, Anjali Mudra is Pranjali. Anjali Mudra is very important. Keeping the both hands together and saying Hare Krishna. Not just say Hare Krishna. We fold the hands, no? Pranjali. त्वमेक सर्वभूतानां जन्म कृद्वृत्तिदः पृता तथापि न प्रजानां ते शुश्रूषा केन वा भवेत्. And then they started glorifying their father. They addressed, Tvam Ekah, you are the father of all the living entities. And you are also the progenitor. Vrittidaha, you are the source of subsistence also. O Pita, O Father. So, how we should serve you? Please let us know it. Shushushat, Prajanam. You, everybody is born from you. Even we are born from you. How best we can serve you? See, this is the way actually the service is done. Not that I have served you and you should accept. No. We should know also how best we should serve. Not necessary that every service will please someone. We may do, it may not be perfect. Better is ask and serve. Okay. Raksha, read both the verses.
Yes, Mataji. Shloka number 6. मैत्री उवाच यदा स्वभार्यया श्राद्धं जतः स्वयंभुवो मनुः प्राञ्जलि प्राणतश्चेदं वेदगर्भम् अभासता. Translation: The sage Maitreya said to Vidura, after his appearance, Manu, the father of mankind, along with his wife, thus addressed the reservoir of Vedic wisdom, Brahma with obeisances and folded hand. Sloka 7. Tvam eka sarvabhutanaam janmakrit kritadav pitaha pita tathapi nah prajanmam te shushusha kena va bhavet. Translation: You are the father of all living entities and the source of their substance. Because they are all born of you, please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. A son's duty is not only to make the father the source of supply for all his needs, but also when he is grown up to render service unto him. That is the law of creation beginning from the time of Brahma. A father's duty is to bring up the son until he is grown, and when the son is grown up, it is the duty to render service unto the father. Hare Krishna.
When the son is grown up, it is a duty of the son to serve the father. But again, according to the wish of the father. Not that I serve and you have to accept it. No, the ways to serve. It's very important. How father can be pleased. Tadvidehi namastubhyam karmasva idyatma shaktishu yat krut veha yasho vishwat amutra cha bhavet gatihi. So you give us direction from where I should start. Because increasing the progeny is very important. So first again paying obeisances. Namaha, Tubhyam. So karmasu. Give us direction. Videhi, from where to start, how to start. And then Atma Shaktishu, according to our capacity. Now elephant work cannot be given to a person who has less capacity. According to the capacity, see it's very important. Atma Shaktishu. Nowadays in the office they give work so much that a person goes in depression because he doesn't have that capacity. It should be also, he should be capable of doing it. So it is very important. So that is why the authority must know how much capacity the other person has. According to that, work should be taken. Kritva yashaha vishwak ishwak. So in this way, we can perform the work for the fame also. We can follow it for fame in this life and progress in the next. So naturally, person becomes famous. Then you may ask why they want to become famous. What is the problem in becoming famous? If a person is doing work, he will become famous. Naturally, when a person has to work, passion is involved. And the award for the passion is fame. So if some award should be there. No? So they are saying very clearly, we can follow it for fame in this life. Yes. It is fame for you also, for us also. Yeah, bache. And then progress in the next life. Sometimes we go very illogical also. A person should work. Okay, that is all fine. When a materialistic work is involved, naturally it has results. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. In that, material work has not been spoken. Every material work has results. It's not at the end of the time, end of the month, the entrepreneur says, Karmanye vadikaraste. That verse is only for pure love. This work is now increasing the progeny, where to fit whom, in which department, in which loka. All these things is the work of Swayambhu Manu. There is a question of pure devotional service in this. That is why award has to be there. Every material work has results. Because they have clearly told this is my duty. That karma so is based on duty and rights for the results goes together. Okay. Tomorrow is Bhakti Siddhanta Sasitach's disappearance day. And here the whole disciplic succession. Today I was just thinking, I'll tell Naina Manjari to do the recording of this. But she sings so nicely the disciplic succession. Tomorrow is Bhakti Siddhanta Sasitach's disappearance. Till that. And then our Srila Prabhupada. Okay, the whole disciplic succession is put in this. Okay. Aruna, read.
Text 8. तद्विदेहि नमस्तुभ्यं कर्मस्वीड्यात्मशक्तिषु यत्कृत्वेह यशो विश्वगमुत्र च भवेत् गतिः. O wonderful one, please give us your direction for the execution of duty within our working capacity so that we can follow it for fame in this life and progress in the next. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Brahma is a direct recipient of Vedic knowledge from the personality of Godhead, and anyone discharging his entrusted duties in disciplic succession from Brahma is sure to gain fame in this life and salvation in the next. The disciplic succession from Brahma is called the Brahma Sampradaya, and it descends as follows: Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhva Muni, Purna Pragya, Padmanabha, Nrhari, Madhava, Akshobhya, Jayatirtha, Jnana Sindhu, Dayanidhi, Vidyanidhi, Rajendra, Jayadharma, Purushottama, Brahmayatirtha, Brahmanyatirtha, व्यासतीर्थ, लक्ष्मीपति, माधवेंद्र पुरी, ईश्वर पुरी, श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु, स्वरूप दामोदरा, and Sri Rupa Goswami and others, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Krishna Dasa Goswami, Narottama Dasa Thakura, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Jagannatha Dasa Babaji, Bhakti Vinoda Thakura, Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. This line of disciplic succession from Brahma is spiritual, whereas the genealogical succession from Manu is material. But both are on the progressive march towards the same goal of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Next. Brahmovacha Pritastubhyam Aham Prata Swasti Swastistad Vamshitishvara Yannirvalikena Hृदा Sadi Metyatmanarpitam Pritaha Tubhyam. I am very pleased with you. Aham Pritaha Tubhyam. O Tata, my dear son, I am very pleased with you. Swastistat, I give all blessings to you. Both of them. Vam unto you both. Shriti Ishvaraha. So, my dear son, O Lord of the world. So, he is addressing his son as Lord of the world. Yat nirvalikenaha hrida sadhi. So, you have surrendered without reservation with your heart. Sadhi, you want to get instructed by me. And in this way, you have surrendered without any reservation. You should speak this only, that only. No. In this way, you have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instruction. When a person is completely surrendered without reservation, that means without any condition. Reservation means condition. You cannot have conditional love with your Guru. One has to be completely surrendered. Then only can. The Guru also feels very comfortable to give instruction. If there are some reservations, oh, I don't like the way you speak this and all, then Guru also feels what to speak and what not to speak. He will also be reserved. If we have reservation, Guru is also having reservation. If we are completely surrendered, completely free, Guru also feels very much free to instruct us. Okay? Read Vrindavan Mataji.
Text 9. Brahmovacha Pritastubhyam maham tata Swasti stadvam shiteshwara Yannirvyalike hृदा Shadhi meti atmanarpitam. Translation. Lord Brahma said, My dear son, O Lord of the world, I am very pleased with you, and I desire all blessings for both you and your wife. You have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instructions. Purport. The relationship between the father and the son is always sublime. The father is naturally disposed with goodwill towards the son, and he is always ready to help the son in his progress in life. But in spite of the father's goodwill, the son is sometimes misguided because of his misuse of personal independence. Every living entity, however small or big he may be, has a choice of independence. If the son is unreservedly willing to be guided by the father is 10 times more eager to instruct and guide him by all means. The father and son relationship, as exhibited here in the dealings of Brahma and Manu, is excellent. Both the father and the son are well qualified, and their example should be followed by all humankind. Manu, the son, unreservedly asked the father, Brahma, to instruct him, and the father, who was full of Vedic wisdom, was very glad to instruct. The example of the father of mankind may be rigidly followed by mankind, and that will advance the cause of the relationship of fathers and sons. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So nice teachings, right? Then, 8. The recording has been put just in Nainus, and so I'm just typing Gaudiya Sampradaya. So our Sampradaya is so wonderful. See, we are learning from Brahmavacha, isn't it? This is how the teachings are flowing to the Gaudiya Sampradaya. एतावत्यात्म जैर्वीर कार्यायप चितिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमत्तैर्गृह्येत सादरं गतमत्सरैः. Says your example is so wonderful. Etavati, just like this. Atmajai, how the offspring should perform their worship to the superior. That is given here. Apachitaha worship, that means how they should perform their worship. And that too with full capacity. You are a perfect example. And in this way, one should have adoration also. Griheta sadaram, with great delight. So one who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it with full capacity. So gata matsaraihe, there is no enviousness. When a person loves, when his love is there, automatically there is no enviousness. Then he accepts every instruction with great delight. He loves to take. But the moment there is some enviousness, this enviousness can come in different ways. Why should I hear? Why I don't have my brains on? So there are these are all different ways of enviousness. Why I should hear to the instructions of Bhagavad Gita? Even I can do whatever I want. That is enviousness towards Lord. This enviousness is in different ways. It need not be the same enviousness as two sisters have, or two brothers have, or maybe two friends have. Enviousness comes in different forms. The moment I don't want to accept the order of my parents, that is one form of enviousness. If a child is not hearing to you, understand, in the childhood, if you see, there is a subtle competition between mother and the daughter. If you really notice that, you really notice there is a subtle competition. That is also enviousness. That is also a subtle way of enviousness. So at the time, mother may say something, the girl will say, "Hey, Mummy, you don't know much." There's a subtle competition between father and the son also. These are all subtle enviousness. But that is how here Brahma, who knows everyone's heart, Brahma is the father of the mankind. So he knows. He is the one who has produced all the living. He has given the living entities all the bodies. So he knows the. That is why he says that you are executing with full capacity. You don't have even the slightest enviousness. That means you want to take my instructions in full. How many children are really taking instructions in full in this material world? We can analyze our own children. Whenever they don't want to take full instructions, understand there is slight enviousness. Competition, you can say, retaliating mood, whatever, you say anything. You call it any name. But Swayambhu Manu did not have. That is what he says. You are a perfect example of the relationship between son and the father. Many times the parents compromise. You see, many times it happens. Many of the children, they want to produce their only thoughts, and parents, what they will do? Compromise. But that it was not there with the relationship of Brahma, and though he is a lord of the world, Swayambhu Manu is the lord of the world with all the wonderful gunas, but still he stands folded hands, he and his wife, to get instructions from Brahma. In this world, if you see, if the children have studied something, if they are in a high position, parents cannot speak to them. You tell them, you will say, no, now it's not the time for instructions. Children don't hear. It's not children don't hear. Children have enviousness. Simple. It is very hard to speak this word, but it is the truth. It is the truth. That is why there is no hope of any advice, neither any hope for the improvement of the children also. So they do what they want. So this is how, see, from Bhagavatam, we can learn many things. Many, many things. Next verse also will take it, because this will be the last verse for today. Sattvamasya apatyani sadrishyani atmano gunaihi उत्पाद्य शास धर्मेण गाम यज्ञ पुरुषम yaja. Saha, O my obedient son. So beget children like yourself, with all like wonderful qualities like you, and then dharmena gam yajnahi, worship the supreme personality of God, rule the world with the principles of devotional service. Shasa dharmena, rule the world, perform yajnas. See what nice instruction. Beget wonderful children. First instruction after marriage, first thing, don't tell plan. Planning is illicit sex enjoyment in a, like drinking wine in a posh bottle. Actually, the Ashirvadam should be given after the marriage is beget many children. At least not many, at least one, but beget. Don't have sexual contact without the intention of getting children. Or that sexual contact is only illicit sex. So now these both are produced, no? Both are standing. What is the first instruction? Beget children. Shasana and all is later. First beget children. Then rule. Nowadays, first settle yourself. Then beget children. Doesn't work. By the time they settle, they become 35 years. Because settlement is according to our satisfaction. And a person is never satisfied. Ye dil mange more all the time. What satisfaction? That is why first we get children. Bacha paida karo. Shadi kiya, bacha paida karo. Your children may say something. Your daughter-in-law may say something. If you are a mother, you should speak that. Have a control over your children also in some ways. Not that every time I will not speak, I'll just keep quiet. No. If you keep quiet, adharma will prevail in the house. If you are father and mother, learn to speak truth. In spite of that, if the children are not hearing, let them go to hell. Simple. But if you don't speak, you will go to hell. Because in spite of knowing the truth, if I don't show the path, then they will go only, along with that I will also go. Learn to speak truth. Don't always be goody-goody. We don't want to be good in the society. Be divine in the society. Be divine in the society. Don't get the fear of, oh, you'll be thrown out of the house. No problem. World is there. But learn to speak truth also. The purpose of the marriage is the first thing. Kumara Shatakam, Kumari Shatakam is spoken that time. In the Kumara Shatakam, Kumari Shatakam, it is not that I will get the Bahu will work for 2-3 years. She has to accomplish her mission. Don't want such Bahu then. If that girl is ready to beget the child, become mother first. All aims, ambitions are later. Working and all is later. Work is not the goal of the girl. The goal of the girl is to become a mother. If that is there, select that girl. If that is not there, leave that girl. Very important. These all teachings are very important. Nowadays, the girls come, they just want to work. Already so much of food is there in the house that you can feed hundreds of people. So much of money is there. 1 children, 2 children, only that much only. So this is the teachings. What we are going to learn is this. See, rule the world later. And that too how? Devotional service. Perform yajnas. That means the purpose of the marriage is both of them should do devotional service. First to beget children, then devotional. Nowadays is a fashion even in the devotees cult also. They don't want to beget children. They want to get married. Then afterwards, it leads to frustration. It leads to divorce. That is why many of the devotees houses, there are divorces. Because begetting children has not been emphasized. Both of them go early morning, Mangalarti. Sunday, both of them in the temple. Don't have time now. You don't have time to do romance and all. So why did you marry them? And because of this, the whole time, then afterwards it leads to pressure. The ladies have to be engaged with their children. If the lady doesn't get a child, she will become frustrated. The motherhood is imbibed in a girl. She has to be guided. So it is a duty of the mother. It's only mother who can guide. Fathers what? They cannot even speak also. Mother should be strong in the house. If mother is strong, house is in dharma. If the wife is strong, the house is in dharma. If mother is meek, nothing can happen. Nothing can happen in that house. Only adharma will prevail. Father will not speak. That is the nature of a man. He will not open the mouth. It is the woman who should open the mouth. Who screams in the house? Tell me. The lady who screams in the house, isn't it? Scream for good. Scream for dharma. Not a problem. Shout for dharma. Then only house will improve. Or the same non-devotional services will go on. Be very, very strong. Because today, whatever is the topic is the son who is very dutiful and the father who is wonderful in giving such wonderful instruction. He did not say first, you do shasana. you beget child. That means have romance. Romance with your wife. That is what, see, we are not opening one office here, employing people. Understand, marriage is not an office. लड़की कितना कमा रही है? One more recruitment. Are you recruiting an office? Is it an office? It's a home. It's a home where love is, the loving relationship should be there. Begetting children means what? Romance should be there. No romance, what children will come? Is it mechanical or what? The girl should dress very nicely. She should be at home, attract the boy. All this is there in Kumari Shatakam. We should teach this. Though we are out of all these things, but now when the young girls and the young boys get married, they should dress in a very nice way. The girls, especially when they wear saris and all, the sexual impulse automatically comes. If they wear half chaddi and stand, and nobody likes to see also. Pant, shirt, nobody like to see. That is why even the alankaram is also taught to the girl. How to do alankar to attract a man. And that is how the child is begotten. And that too the muhurta is seen. That is known as Garbhadana Sanskara. So all these things has to be first learned. What is Garbhadana? Go and study what is Garbhadana Sanskara. That is done by the priest. And especially a nice muhurta is selected also. At the time the girl is dressed also very nicely. So these are all certain things which has to be there. Because marriage is not a profession. Nowadays, I don't know what. Marriage is a beautiful way to expand the family with wonderful people coming in the family. And that wonderful people depends upon the consciousness of the girl and the boy. So these are all the things these are the practical things which has to be learned. Okay? Hare Krishna.
माताजी माताजी इन
Yes, yes.
करंट सिचुएशन माताजी मनुस्मृति जो है दी गई है उनका ही विरोध हो रहा है, इतना जोरों से सब विरोध करते हैं क्योंकि
वो
उनको
तो
अपनी
छोड़ो
तरह से जीना है इसलिए सबको।
हाँ, तो इसीलिए ना, those who are objecting Manusmriti, they're all Shudras, simple.
और माताजी दूसरी भी एक ऐसी बात है कि अभी के सिचुएशन में लड़का जो है वो वही लड़की को पसंद करता है कि जो काम करती है। अगर वो वर्क नहीं करेगी तो फिर घर कैसे चलेगा? हम उनकी इच्छा है कैसे?
इसलिए उनको विवाह मत बोलो, एम्प्लॉयमेंट रिक्रूटमेंट बोलो। उसको विवाह बोलना ही नहीं। विवाह होता है जहाँ जहाँ प्रेम से घर को कैसे बढ़ाए। अगर लड़का को लड़की चाहिए जो जॉब वाली चाहिए तो उसको बोलो कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं, आप ये कर रहे हैं, रिक्रूटमेंट कर रहे हैं। इट इज एक्चुअली नाइस नेम।
Very true, Mataji.
Actually, my classes, I don't know, it should be heard by everybody. Because I only speak so much truth, na? Bold truth. Especially I get angry when, 1 minute. When there is a condition put, the girl should work. Then, and the boy should earn this much. That conditions actually is not for marriage. Yes, what is seen is the parents are nice, wonderful. The house is having good things to eat. The house is cultured. That is actually seen in the marriage. Not that the boy is devotee, the girl is devotee. Even if chalo, not a devotee, chalo, cultured houses where there is a culture of giving water to a person who comes from outside. So some culture is seen. Nowadays, that all has gone behind. How much you're earning? Somebody is telling me. Even the matrimonial columns, that the form which is there now in some temples, what they write is how much the boy is earning. Initially, they used to write how many rounds he's chanting. Chalo, devotee section, how many rounds? But if a person is not in devotion, chalo, what is the culture? Parents are cultured or what? The girl is seen by her mother. Selection of the girl is done by seeing their parents. Now she knows to cook or not, she speaks soft or not. That is all seen in a girl. See, how many rounds of chanting and all is not seen. That's all later, everything will happen. Because even performing devotional service, there Brahmaji is telling that later only. First beget child. Do your duties and then sacrifice everything to Lord. He did not say first to do the duties for the Lord. No. First, as a simple human, be first a good human. Love each other first. Devotion to Krishna is afterwards. It will anyhow come. If you are a good human, it will come. Because the father is a devotee, naturally devotion has to come. If you are not a good human only, what devotion will do? What devotion will do? See how Brahmaji is instructing. Brahmaji did not instruct, so chant 16 rounds. Both of you sit and chant 16 rounds. No. He said, beget children. That means go do Ramans. Now you have bacha paida karo, bacha paida. Then do your work nicely. And offer your work to Lord. That is sacrifice. And then slowly the person becomes a nice devotee by offering to Lord. That is how monthly contributions, why this scheme is there, that is only for that reason. Sacrifice to Lord. This is how a person slowly becomes a nice devotee. Any other, it is not the case of Swayambhu Manu, and Swayambhu Manu himself is a great devotee. We need a practical, like practice, in the practical. Suddenly a girl comes, if you say you're 16 round chanting, bichari, she will think, I have to get married or what I should do. There are many, many wrong advices even given by the devotees to the newly married people. One of the counselor was saying, see, begetting children is not our work. Both of you go to temple and do devotional service. That is, then why get married only? Don't get married. Give advice in such a way where Grahastha ashram is set properly first. Let the ashram be set. Let people not have fear of entering any devotee's house. If automatically devotion is there, they will do. They will chant. Somebody asked me, I still remember, when I took Jumur to Vapi, first marriage ke baad I took to Vapi. Somebody asked, devotee hai kya? I said, मुझसे तो बेहतर. At the time, she was not chanting one round also. एक कंठी नहीं पहना. It is imbibed in her. She is better than me. That is what was my answer to. That means she understood she is better than you. Instead of saying that she is better than you, I just, because it is not that only kanti if you have or chapmal in the hand, then only you are devoted. Just be a good human first. The selection is done with that, sanskaras. Okay, stop here. Ancha kalpadalodesha kripa sindhu devacha. Patidanam pavane deva Vaishnava namo namo Vaishnava Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai.